Hey, Sandy Lee. Hey, Latif, how are you? Please give Mom my love. So as I promised, yes, it does keep the mosquitoes away. Aren't any mosquitoes out yet? It's too cold up here. You're in the city still. Hi, Miranda. How are you? So as I promised that I would give a view of that water and all that's taken place with it. Typically, you could never see it. Hey, Marion. You could never see it this high. And that's from all the rain that fell yesterday. Hi, Dolly. Tony, how are you? My hands are frozen, so every time I go, hey, Bunk, every time I go to wave to somebody, it wants to fight me when I tap the screen. Harlan, hey, sweetie, how are you? Yeah, it's been a long time. Oh, all the way from D.C., right? You have to keep up with that mama, y'all, of yours. She stay looking good. That's because 50 plus, we know what's up. Phyllis, what's up, girl? Oh, wow, a lot of my friends from D.C. and back home are on. Thanks for joining us, guys. So, for those of you who were sleeping when I was being silly and on very late last night, and I thought you could see the rushing water in my backyard, but you couldn't. And also a little bit of fire here I got going on because it's sneaky cold. So I'm up in the mountains of New York, about 2 hours away from the city. For those of you who don't know, and for those of you, thank you, who are concerned about, if I was okay. I am fine. I have a huge backyard to keep me out of trouble. Hey, Donald Bear. Hey, Sarade. I have a huge backyard to keep me out of trouble. And it allows me to roam around enough. I think in 2 months, I might have left my house. Oh, geez. I want to say maybe a total of 4 times. And it was either a doctor's appointment or to take my little brother somewhere. I'm going to drop this down some. Take my little brother somewhere or to the grocery store. And then when I go, I come back in for, a 2-week stint before I go back out. So for those of you who are dealing with it or who have lost someone, my prayers and thoughts are with you. And for those of you who have been following some of my work over the years, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who have just started following me, I appreciate you. So I am talking mostly about life. So many, hey, Steve, hey. Usually I talk about life. I'm not afraid to talk about my life experiences because I believe we all go through some of the same things, just in different ways. And I've had over the years an amazing relationship with many men. And, friend-wise, best friend-wise, buddies. As I can see from a few of my friends who signed on, they're all the way from back when I lived in D.C. and I went to school in D.C. after my mom passed away. And I moved down there in 1978. And that's the beauty of relationships. You create relationships and You do your best to hang on to them. I'm going to move a little closer to the water. You do your best to hang on to them, and you nurture them because they're very important to us. And as we can see with this whole social distancing thing, it is freaking some of us out. And now the smoke wants to chase me. You love it? But it's freaking some of us out. And justifiably. It's not like you're crazy. It's very justifiable because we are creatures of we're human creatures, and our nature is to socialize and be friendly and, meet people and greet people and laugh. And, that's the beauty of life. And this whole pandemic has changed many of the ways we do things. One is educate and learn now because we're doing it on screen as opposed to person to person a lot. Hey, Teresa. We're doing it by phone, many different ways, and ways some of us have been fighting. And though I know some of you think I'm super high tech, I've been fighting it for a while because I really enjoy sitting down with my friends and talking. Hi, Brenda. And it's changed everything we do. And so I have the privilege of teaching some distance learning classes, 4 weeks, starting April 22nd, 29th, and May 6th and 13th. And it's through the Sullivan County Distance Learning Program. And I'm going to be talking about finding your inner wealth and your inner health. And that really boils down to your mental health. Because money means nothing if we're not stable and we don't know what we're doing with it. As we can see, some of us, and when I say us, I always include myself. I'm by no means perfect, and I have screwed up more times than I care to truly admit. Hey, little Don, I see. You're so silly. More than I'd care to admit. So the one thing that I've learned coming from my background and my culture, and I always talk about that, is, hey, Johnny, I had a different background than a lot of my friends, a different culture, a different style. So I used to be full of anger. And though I'm female, I was an athlete, so I had lots of testosterone rolling around in me. Hey, Rose. And I'd get angry fast, and, my reaction was to fight or get in someone's face. And, one, you grow out of that. Your bones don't heal that much. And two, I have nails now, so they break. Said, oh, wow, all my friends from D.C., what's up? Hey. I can shout you out now, Cedric. I want y'all to know. See that name, Cedric Gordon? When we were in the 8th grade, he used to call me Puff the Magic Dragon. But he was cute, so I still liked him. I don't care. And he does beautiful work today. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So my background was a little different. And so being calm and trying to express yourself, who listened to that stuff? Everything was about getting your point across. And it really comes down to being passionate about what you believe and how you feel and learning how to express those things. And if we don't have control of it, hey, Andrea, if we don't have control of it, everything is out of whack. So we're going to be talking about in the classes, our state of mind, our habits, good and bad, a little bit about our finances. I'm no financial specialist, as some of you may have known. I ran a garbage business for 24 years, and I've employed over 150 men, took 10 women from welfare to work, and did over $65 million worth of gross revenue. Whoopie-doo. When economic times hit you and things happen, there is nothing called stable. There is no stability anymore. As we can all see, a lot of us thought we had great jobs and we had this great retirement and we were, headed for beautiful la-la land. And then whammo, something like this happens and it shakes everybody because typically we're not prepared for these things. And so, at least in my lifetime, of the 40 years old that I am, no smart comments over here. So we have to think now, quick on our feet. We have to decide what it is we're going to do with the rest of our lives. A lot of us have been in, I said it last night, I'll say it again, relationships that aren't going anywhere. And if you're miserable, guarantee the other person is miserable. Do you really want to live the rest of your life this way, knowing that we could walk out our house at any moment catch this horrid thing and possibly die and say, damn, I wish I would have. None of us want to do that. I know I don't. Typically, I do what I want anyway. However, there are times that I've spent playing small, and some of you will understand what that is. And I've always spoken my mind. However, I didn't always speak it when I really should have. I never spoke of it for myself. I spoke of it in defense of someone else or in representation for someone else. And I have been working on myself the last 6 years and really digging down into who I am. So we're also going to be covering in this class the power of I am. Because when you know who you are and you know your purpose on this planet, there really isn't anything that someone can tell you to shake your belief in who you are. And so I think that is super duper important, that we know who we are and what we stand for. And I'm going to flip the screen around now because I know you guys want to see me with my cold Rudolph the Red-Nosed nose because it's really cold out here. It's deceivingly cold. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about the power of I am. And the name of the class is Navigating the New Normal. Of course, we know really what is normal, based on what as compared to what. But I just think it's important that we truly get out of all these closets that we have. Hi, Jill. All these closets we've been hiding in, afraid someone's going to find out. Whoopie-doo, they got shit in their closet just like you. And it doesn't really matter because, again, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much intelligence you have or intellect or knowledge, what does that do compared to this damn pandemic? Not a thing. So the unfortunate thing is, yes, there are studies that show a larger amount of African Americans are dying from this. I don't want to make light of that in any way because we all know there's a reason why. Inequality. And some of it is self-imposed. I'm not going there, with the whole race stuff. We can talk about that on another day. And I like to talk about that with facts and proof of my own life experience. But the fact is that we're all on a level playing field right now, whether we'd like to accept that or not. And so this is time for all of us the smoke is chasing me. This is time for all of us to take a stand. If you see something wrong or the way someone's being treated, hey, Marsha, someone's being treated, you need to speak up. You need to handle that. I have a friend, I was talking in a group, and I have a friend, and I told him that I've been a part of this group for a long time. Hey, Chris. I've been a part of this group for a long time, and they really didn't honor Black History Month properly. And I'm glad they were very receptive. These women have been my mentors and have loved and nurtured me for the last 21 years. And I was afraid for years to say anything. But I said, what the hell? I got to lose. And I brought it up. And one of the ladies said, well, you're going to be possibly incoming president. Hey, Marissa. So, that should be your platform. And no, it shouldn't be my platform because people are going to expect it to be my platform. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to handle my business if I should be elected into that position. However, hi, Rupert. However, that is when you help your fellow woman, your fellow man, and you speak up for them because it is going to be looked upon like, oh, my God, that's her cry. The Black people have such problems. I have friends who always tell me, oh, no, there's no racism. I don't know what's wrong with you. People love you. and all I could do is laugh at that point. But hey, Evie, I miss you. All of our memories came up from Puerto Rico. And I just want to fly over there right now and get out of here. But I know that no matter where I go, there it is. So anyway, I don't want to go on a rampage on that. But we're going to cover a lot of the things that we've been ignoring and how we feel about them and what we're going to do about it after this when we're, unleashed, uncaged. He's so silly, little Donald. Unleashed, uncaged to go out and go back to work, if that's what you want to do. There are going to be a lot of needs. And yes, there's going to be less money for a little while until you create it. So there's entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about your ships. I call it your ships and how we navigate through life. My beautiful niece who helps me do a lot of things, Sandy Lee, I was talking to her about some of my work, and she's my English extraordinaire, and I called it the storm of life, or your journey, the storm of life. And she said, Auntie, I don't like the storm of life because not everything is a storm, and people forget, hi Asana, to talk about when things are great. And that is so true. We forget, there's a difference between bragging because, something went great, or you won some money, you made some money, big money, you got a new car. That's bragging. But when things are good, you should share, if it's worthy, how you got it and the work that you put in, so other people can hear that story and say, oh my God, if crazy Shirley could own 50 trucks, pick up garbage and recycling in 2 states, and I know what she got, some of them know what I got in math. I barely got a D in math. I think she had a lot of sympathy for me, but all my other grades were good, just not math. And math it still sucks at. But I don't need to. I surround myself around people who are good at those things, and we form teams. So if you follow me on Facebook, you see that I travel and I meet amazing, amazing people who share their life stories with me. And every time I think my life is shitty or I've got problems, I'm just like, girl, you need to shut up, be grateful, keep it moving, pay it forward, reach back. Hey, Shannon. And do what you do. And so that's the beautiful opportunity that I've been given after running my own business. I've been an entrepreneur now for 27 years. And again, not a brag. Anything I talk about isn't a brag, because I'm always amazed that I got away with doing any of those things, because everything was pretty much trial and error. I went to college. Hey, Kath. All the way out in there in Cali. I went to school and I dropped out, and I had a partial basketball and softball scholarship. So I screwed up some opportunities. But when it was all said and done, I was a 21-year-old single mom. Awesome. I'll put the link up so that if you want to take the class, Asana, you could check it out. So anyway, all of these things happen. Like I said, I went to school, I dropped out, and then I got pregnant at 21. I was like, oh shit, hits the fan now, and I need to grow up, and it's not about me. And I never wanted to be a mom, by the way, and I turned out being the mom to 7 plus probably 30 kids, and lots of nieces and nephews who adopted me that belong to other people and don't have my genetics running through them, but I love them just the same. Hey, Star, hope you guys are doing good. So with that all being said, things happen in life, and you have to decide, how am I going to navigate through the journey of this life? And it's kind of like this river. I'm going to go back to it since Debbie and a couple of people didn't see it, so hang tight. So I'm going to go back to this river, because as this river is flowing, just like our life, we were going through, everything was great, no problems, and then all of a sudden, stay home, 14 days, don't do this, don't do that, and life changed for us. And then we're like, oh my God, what do I do? I don't know how to be at home by myself. For some people who are home with people they don't like, I am very sorry. I wish that I can help you, but after this I can if you reach out to me. And so where I'm going with all of this is to say, things happen. What will you do? How will you handle it after this? Not pity me, sorry me, because we're all on an even playing field right now. Some people have some money because they were taught about finances, and their family has passed down some things to them. Hey, Cheryl. And others, Rose, and others won't. But it doesn't stop you from reaching out and asking for help. For while we have this time, kind of like hibernating, we went into this little cocoon, and you can get on the internet and you can learn things. And isn't it amazing how we don't need to shop as much as we used to? Coming from the woman who probably has about 120 pair of shoes. Isn't it amazing that we have enough clothes where we really don't have to do laundry for almost a month because we're home? So all of our values and our ships, I talked about our ships and how we're navigating. We're going to talk about our worship. The things, hey, Anna, happy belated birthday, sweetheart. Our worships, the things we choose to worship, and the people, right? We're going to look at how that, Scotty, hey, Scotty. We're going to look at that stuff. We're going to look at our friendships, our relationships. Are you the kind of friend that you want? And if not, there's ways to fix that. And do you have the friends that you really like, or do you have friends because you have no other choice? Do you have friends through default? Do you have friends because, one of my very good old friends, we haven't seen each other in years. She moved to Florida, but gosh, we were friends for 20-something years. I used to laugh, and she used to get so angry in the beginning because, hey, Heather, my niecey, that was a beautiful write-up, and thank you, I love you. Deborah Starr was one of my best friends when she lived up here, and she actually was my friend through default. Hey, Annette, her husband and my husband at the time were best friends, childhood best friends. And so I was like, she's not my friend. And we turned out to be the best friends. And we did some of the greatest things together. And we cried together. And we learned together. And we pissed and moaned about our kids together. We camped out together. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Hi, Damon. So we did all this stuff together, and I was actually cleaning up and going through so many little baby pictures of Norman, which is hysterical because he looks like your nephew, which is funny. But, these are friendships I have. I have some friends on here that have been my friends for 30 plus years. If I tell any more, you might know my age. And I'm not bragging, but I know that I practice being a good friend. Hi, Deborah. I know my purpose on this planet. And that's the other thing we're going to talk about, because my new little thing is, when I was in the garbage business, I used to say we were cleaning up the county one can at a time because, garbage goes in cans. And so now I say that I am the trash queen. And I help women sort through the trash in their lives. We can call them blockers. We can call them limiting beliefs. Reuse their lessons learned, because we learned a lot of lessons, some good, some bad. We'll get rid of the ones that are bad, but we're still going to take the lessons from them, and we're going to reuse them or repurpose them, whatever word you want to use to sound pretty and cute, but we're going to do the work. And we are going to find our purpose and our voice, because a lot of us gave our voice away. And I know most of the time I talk to women, but men, if you're smart, you'll listen to me. Because all we want to do is be heard, and of course loved and paid attention. And when we don't get it, we become that nagging woman because we don't know how to get your attention. Now, some of us are just crazy, okay? I have 9 brothers, so, I can admit that, and I've spent most of my life around men. So, unfortunately for me, I get them. I was married for 18 years. We got a divorce. We just grew apart. We're still good friends. Hi, Mia. We're still good friends. He lives less than 10 miles away from me. He actually just got married last September. And there was no fighting. It could have been a nasty, ugly divorce, but it wasn't necessary, because where would that get us? And this isn't anything I wanted to talk about, but since I have a nice group of people on here, I'm going to talk about this, because I was very saddened today to hear that one of the young men who grew up with my youngest boy, Daniel, or we call him Elijah, they say he committed suicide, he died. The whole thing is, doesn't matter. At 33 years old, this young man is gone. And the first thing some of his friends that grew up with him said is, I wonder was it his baby mama not letting him see the baby. Hey, Leanne. And that saddened me. And so as a woman, I never fought my ex, at the time he wasn't my husband, my ex-boyfriend, to see Jasmine. If he wanted to see her, that was on him. If he didn't, that was on him. I knew what it was like to grow up and not know my real dad. I had a dad, but he wasn't my biological dad, but he's my dad nonetheless. Hey, Jess, how are you, baby? Hi, Oliver. Hey, cuz. And so with all that being said, ladies, I don't care if he broke your heart, as long as he didn't put his hands on you. Now, if he put his hands on you, that's another story. But as long as he didn't do anything that you didn't let him do, meaning if he lied to you, you heard that lie and you knew it, but you thought you could change him, whatever that is. Get out of the way of these fathers with relationships. Do everything you can to foster this relationship. Now, I'm not saying bend over backwards, do everything, pay bills, transport your kids. He's going to have to do something to know that he wants to be a dad, as long as he's going to be a good dad. But if you got to force him and he's going to be a crappy dad, that's his issue. He'll have to answer to those children or the man up above when it's all said and done. But baby mamas, and I know I hate that word sometimes, and I know a lot of moms on here hate it, but get out of the way of the relationship of the children with their fathers, please. That's why we have so many broken young men out here. And teach your sons how to love. Teach them how to listen. Teach them, hug them. They need love too. We do this stuff to guys. And I know some women out here is, men are blah, blah, blah. Look, I've been working with women and men. And we are all a handful, but everything about us is about our experiences. So if you give someone a crappy experience in their life, then you contribute to their shit, okay? So stop contributing to people's shit. Contribute to their happiness. Help them, guide them. That's what we're here for. We're put on this planet to give and receive love. Did you hear me? To give and receive love. So when we can do that, hey, Pat, when we can do that, everything's going to be a whole lot better. Is everything going to be great? No, because that would be boring. I hear you, Chris. That would be boring if everyone did everything great and we're always happy. And I know people see me smile all the time, and I make this comment. Some people are like, oh my God, there she goes again. Oh, well. But it's true. People see me smiling all the time. And they're like, oh my God, that must be fake. Like, how can you smile all the time? Everything isn't great. No, it's not great. But it's the best I'm going to make it, because I will not give my power away to anyone other than me. My mom gave me the gift of birth, and I only had her in my life for 12 years. But she made a huge impact on me. And it is my duty, my honor, it is my choice to be obligated to not let my mother's death be in vain. And she died a broken heart. And she died with not really a lot of best friends. Like, I could say right now that if we didn't have this quarantine of going to each other's house, my house would be full. Yes, they do, Heather. Hey, Lisa. And my house would be full of girlfriends. Even a couple guys would be crashing. Some of them perverts, but mostly because they're good people, because I hang around good people. And so that's important to me, how we create these relationships and friendships. And just think about how you're affecting other people. Think about your reactions to people. You're angry. Think about after all of this stuff now, you're watching people, and I hate to say it like that if anyone's on here and lost someone. I'm not talking light of it, but these are the facts. You're watching people drop like flies. Like flies, literally. And we're worried about what someone's wearing, or how they got to the top, or how they got that car, or you know what, he pissed me off. Hey, Carol, how are you? He pissed me off, so he's not going to see the kids. Get over your damn self. Get over yourself and help your babies have a good life. Help your men. Hey, Kenny, be good men. When life works, it doesn't always work, but when it works, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm sure some of us have seen it. We see couples. I know I do. I'm a people watcher. So I go places, and I see couples who dance. I love you too. I see couples who dance together. I used to go to the racetrack in Monticello at nights on Friday and Saturday just to watch these 3 older couples dance. They were 70 and up. And they were so cute, and they would hold hands, and she would go get a water for him, and the other guy would go get a drink for his other spouse, his other wife, not his other wife, but his wife, the other couple I met. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And think about when you were in a relationship and it worked, and, you would maybe fix the meal, or he would fix the meal, and you'd sit down and you'd talk. Shit happened for a reason, unfortunately. And this was a setback because we were out of control. We don't know how to have relationships. We don't know how to communicate and talk. I'm on dating sites. I'm single. I've been single for 6 years now, or almost 6 years. I can't keep up with it. And I like, there's parts of being single I really enjoy. But then there's parts I don't. But the cool thing is, I get to meet amazing people with amazing stories. And I'm going to turn it around now. I get to meet amazing people with amazing stories. And they get to share, some of their angst, some of their issues. And it's like, wow, we thought, we never thought men had this problem. They got a lot of problems. No, I'm just kidding. They have a lot of problems. But it's really cool to hear their side of it. And I used to hear, oh, thank you, Oliver. It's very true. I raised some boys that had some of those issues, and it's true. We need help. We need to help each other. If you have a friend who has young men, and you see them struggling, who cares? All they could do is say no thank you, mind your business. They didn't kill you, you didn't bleed, You'll be fine. But you know you can put your head on the pillow at night saying, you know, I reached out. That's all you have to do is reach out. Some people are afraid to ask, and you never know if you don't ask. As my mother used to say, closed mouths don't get fed. And so if they're afraid to ask, help them. Help people find their voice. That's my work. So I'm going to go back because I saw that, Oliver, and that's very important. So I was saying that I talk to a lot of single men on these sites, and they're so frustrated. Some of them are just dumb. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but they're just dumb. But some of them, they're just so frustrated because they feel like they're not being heard. And we have these benchmarks for men. You have to be strong. You have to make the money. You can't cry. I thought I put do not disturb on here. You can't cry. You know, you have to do this. You have to be great in bed. You have to look good. Shut up. Find someone who loves and appreciates you for you, because we're all going to be ugly and wrinkly soon enough. I mean, I hate doing video lives because I start looking at my cheeks and it's like, woo, like it's sinking in and there are little extra jaws here. And then I do this magic thing. Look, I just got like 20 years younger. Hey, Dolores. So anyway, all of that being said, that at the end of the day, we're all going to kind of be in the same place. Getting old, wishing we would have, could have, thinking, oh my God, it was that one that got away that I was so mean to because I didn't trust. We have instinct and intuition. And here comes the smoke again. We have instinct and intuition. And today was like an anniversary of a video my friend Sam and I did together. And we talked about, you know, she's my intuition lady. She's a blessing. I'm just fixing this. Sorry, guys, you're looking all up my face. But she's a blessing. Hey, Dad, how are you? That's my ex-father-in-law, and that's what I mean about building relationships. I've been divorced 9 years, but my ex-husband and I, thank you, Kath, my ex-husband and I are divorced, but I didn't divorce the family. We had beautiful, great years, and he's a great grandfather, you know, to our kids and everything else, and so that's a beauty. I hope you're doing good down there, Dad. Tell Lady Di I said hello. So anyway, you know, we just have to do better, be better. And today, after all of this, if you don't realize that, I don't even have words. I don't know what to say. I feel bad. I'm going to feel bad for you because, and I know it's not being higher than or it's not being better than. It's being real, you know. Those who are my friends and know me, they know I try to keep it as real as possible. I try to share what I know. Like, I don't go places and learn things and come back home and say, ooh, I'm so smart and I'm going to keep it to myself. As soon as I learn it and I get it down, I'm like, oh, shit, who can I go and share it with? Because it does nothing if it dies with me. It does absolutely nothing if it dies with me. So, again, going based on the work that I used to do for many years is collecting trash, sorting, recycling, you know, reusing the things we could, reselling the things we could, and getting rid of the crap that we no longer need. And that's my work today. I travel this world. I meet amazing people who have amazing stories of triumph and struggles, but some people who are just amazing. I'm going to interject here. I met this woman from Canada. She was a client of mine for a year. I met her through a friend of a friend. She originally was from, I forgot what part of Africa. And she had all these major degrees and everything. She was amazing, and she was an intuitive person. And when we were getting to know each other, you know, you want to hear someone's story. When you do what's called an intake, people share their life with you. And she's telling me about her life. And she's a single woman, 50 plus years old. She's older than me at the time. And I said to her, you know, tell me about yourself. What's your story? What were your struggles? She said, I hate to admit it. She's like, but I don't have the tragic life stories. I don't have all these hardships that other people had. She's like, there's nothing special about me. And I looked at her, you know, because we're on Zoom. And I said, there's nothing special about you? Are you kidding me? And she knows all this neuroscience stuff, you know, that I could care less about because that's just not what grasp up here for me. And so I said, but more importantly, how did you get from wherever she was? Hey, Patty, how did you get from wherever you were to Canada? And she said, I did some research and I decided I wanted to go there to learn and learn about new things and something. And I was like, so you don't have a story? She's like, no, I don't have a story. And I said, girl, you're 50 some years old. You moved from Africa to Canada, not having one family member, not having one friend, not ever being there before, packed your stuff and moved to another country. That's a story of courage that you need to share with other people, because there are people I know that won't even go to the next city. I live in what's called Monticello, New York. We're on one side of the county. Another side of the county would be Narrowsburg, where my business actually started 27 years ago. Hey, Rodney. And people talk like you're going to another country when you go from one side to the other, which is about 35, 40 minutes. And so this woman moved from one country to another country, not knowing anyone. So everyone has a story. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a voice. And when you share your story, I don't care if it's of great things. Just don't do it in an insulting way. But I don't care if it's of great things. Share that, because there are some people listening to your story that don't even believe that it would ever, anything good would ever happen for them. And then they hear your story and they're like, again, if Cuckoo Bird Shirley can do it, if Crazy Patty can do it, if Crazy Debbie can do it, if Crazy Norman can do it, I got it made in the bag. And it's not about comparing. It's about just giving them a little bit of inspiration and courage to say, you can do this too. And so that is the important work that I want to do, is help people find their voice. And though I know people think I give my opinion and I speak up, I was literally, and this is my favorite word, and I know it's probably like horrible to use, but I'm me. I'm never going to change who I am. I always respect people and respect their boundaries. But I was constipated, stuck in one spot. Like people say, oh, you're stuck. No. See, stuck means you're just there, right? And you don't know which way to move, up or down. Constipated is you're going to have to take some action to make something move out, right? So I was constipated in doing what I was doing, but I was making money and doing good, but I didn't feel like, there's the smoke. I didn't feel like I was really making a major difference in life. The smoke is pissing me off. I didn't feel like I was making a major difference in life. I'm going to move because the wind's picking up. It's getting cold. So I didn't feel like I was making a major difference in life. And so with that being said, I had to choose what to do. And then unfortunately, economic situation had it where I needed to close my business and sell parts of it. And I did that. And then I was forced to look for other options, because hi, Erin, hey, how are you? I was forced to decide how I was going to feed myself, how I was going to sustain my lifestyle, because I had a pretty comfortable lifestyle. I wasn't rich, but if I wanted a pair of shoes, 10 pair, I'd go get them. If I wanted to take a trip and get in my car and go somewhere, I did that. If I wanted to get on a plane and do that, I did that. So I had to figure out a way to sustain this living and go through all the turmoil that I had to go through to close my business. And I couldn't figure out what it was I was supposed to do. And then later, I took some personality tests, I took some classes, and I was like, all right, it's kind of leading me to leadership. It's kind of what I've been doing, but I don't know how to make money at it. And I feel bad charging people, but it's my profession. So if you pay a doctor. Thank you for not telling me how to tell it. So if you go to a doctor, you pay them, right? And it's a trade, it's a profession, and you pay them. Why? Just because it's your life? Your mental health is important. Your spirit, what's inside of you? I'm a life coach with the Certified Coaches Federation and also with the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise organization. And through those organizations, I learned about getting good with myself, really connecting to my spirit. Because before I thought spirit was, like God or something out there. I really didn't know what that meant. And now I know what it means. And that's that good, feel good. When you are happy where you are and you don't need to be pretending and put on a show for somebody. At this point in my life, I could give a rat's ass about, hey, Jennifer, about what someone feels about me or if they're going to judge me, because again, I've learned that's their shit. It's not mine. That's their shit. And they'll have to deal with that at the end of the day. I'm not going to deal with it. So my journey, my purpose on this planet is to move forward and take some people with me and share and help to improve other people's lives. I've raised my children. They're all up and at 'em. And some of you see my bratty daughter. She's done amazing things. And it's funny, some of us who have kids, they never want to be like us, right? She's so much like me, it's ridiculous. It's funny. And I have to laugh. She's probably shaking her head right now like, yes, you are. And that's because I did my best to give you the best example possible because I didn't have a mother. And I wanted you to have good things. And I wanted to show you good things. And though you fought me every step of the way, I won because when you open your mouth, you say and do amazing things. And you are a great mom, and I'm so proud of you in that manner. And I know I wish my mom was alive to tell me she was proud of me. I wish my mom was alive to see the work that I've done in myself and with others, and jobs that I've created and things of that nature. And so at some point in our lives, we have to get with the program and know that we're here for a purpose and a reason. How do we find that out? How do we figure that out? We don't just, throw our hand up in the air and, whichever way the wind blows, that's where we go. We do a little work on ourselves. When this is all said and done, I'm going to be holding some retreats where we can talk about it and figure that out. Hey, Tinker. And so we're going to work towards making our lives better. I don't like to say happy because I think happy, people are a little screwed up on what that word means. Everything isn't la la la, but it's not doom and gloom, and everything isn't someone else's fault. It's our fault. This is our life. Don't give your power away to someone. You have a boss at work that's a jerk and they're making your life hell. You know what? That's a warning sign. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Get the hell out of there. Now, make a plan. Don't just jump out of there because you got to feed them babies. You got to pay the bills, need a roof over your head. Got to have that car and insurance, whatever it is you need. But make a plan. Don't sit there. This has had to have taught you a lesson about suffering, about sitting there, about being constipated. My friend Mia and I were talking one day, and I don't know, we heard it somewhere, or she heard it, I don't remember. But the Calvary isn't coming. No one's coming to save your ass. It's on you. It's on you to do that. And when you raise your children good or well, Sandy, I don't know which word is proper there. I don't care. But when you raise your children properly or the best you can with what you have, they don't have to have the best of everything. My brothers and I were pretty poor. I can remember when we ran out of heat in our home and the pipes froze up and we were heating our house with boiling water. And if any of my brothers are listening right now, they're cringing, right? But I don't really care because I want people to know that that happened. Hey, Brian, I miss you guys. I hope you're being safe. So I remember when our house froze up and the pipes froze up. And when I started my business right back here where I grew up, I used that company to deliver fuel to my business. Hey, Art, I talk about Mountaindale, and there you go. Hey, Art. And I used that company to deliver fuel to me, even though they were the most expensive. And some people say they have the best fuel. I don't really know. I don't really care. The point was that I needed to show that I didn't have anger as a businesswoman. I understood that bullshit, walks and money talks. And so at the time, my mother didn't have the money and she didn't have what she needed to keep that house warm. And my brothers worked at a young age. My oldest two brothers worked in a bakery and 10 years old. So don't give me any crap about things are so hard and this and that. We have so many opportunities now. And the biggest opportunity we have is how to be entrepreneurs. After this, there are going to be a lot of people in need of. If you want to be an entrepreneur, what are people going to be in need of that you can help them find solutions to? And if you don't know how to find the solutions, do you know what the problem is? And then you start to do the research on those solutions. And sometimes it's some of the same problems you have. When we get off our high and mighty cloud that, we're all this and all of that. I'm a bunch of hard work, a whole bunch of food, not as much junk food or meat as I used to, but still a whole bunch of food. I'm fluffy for a reason. Humor, laughter. Hey, Chris. Christine Miskinnis is on. And Christine, I met her 2 years ago, and I'm going to give her a shout out. So any of you ladies, I might not be the coach for you, and that's okay. If I lead you to someone that helps you, then I've still done my work. But I met Christine 2 years ago. She had a big event in New York City, and somebody won a ticket, and she put it on Facebook that she has a free ticket. And Rashawn was the person who had the free ticket. And I met her, and she gave me the ticket to Christine's event. And this beautiful, bodacious, thin as hell, but sexy woman gets up on stage in this beautiful red dress, and she's introducing all these amazing people. And she did what she did because she put fear aside, and she said, you know what, I got one life to live, and I'm going to rock my voice, and I'm going to do this thing. So if you're on Facebook and you see her name, Christine Miskinnis, or Rock Your Voice, that is her claim to fame, her Rock Your Voice, and her, what do you call it, her momentum. You know, what is she doing? What is her thing? And that's to help other women find their voice. When I met her, another example of, you know, somebody else's shit, when I met her, I was like, oh my God, will she stop talking? Oh my gosh, she's so bold. And let me share with you a lesson I've learned in the last few years. If someone is pushing your button like that every time you see them, you've got to say something, give an opinion, critique them, that's your own shit. That's not anything they've said or done. You don't even know them. I didn't know her. I just knew she was beautiful and thin and bold. And she did, hey, Monica. And she did what I dreamed about doing at the time. I wanted to have this big event and have amazing people come and share their stories. And so it was a little bit of haterade that I was serving up. And I realized that I did a workshop with her, a 5-day challenge, since we were stuck in here. And, you know, she did a 5-day challenge pro bono. She did it free. And she was offering it to any woman who would take it on, or we could refer people to also, hey, Johnny. And she challenged me. And I'm well aware that I have still so much to learn. I'm an entrepreneur who wants to help people. So the first thing for me most of the time is business. I do have a big heart. I love people. Hey, Felicia. Oh, wow. All my childhood friends are on here. You guys are going to make me get all mushy, but thank you, and I love you guys. So anyway, Christine made me dig a little deeper about my claim to fame and what is the movement I'm trying to get to, and, you know, made me dig down to the words. And I was fighting my garbage business, and I didn't want to talk about it anymore because that thing is gone with the wind. But you know what? That's what gave me all the knowledge and the experience that I have today. Fighting politics, fighting racism, fighting sexism. Hey, Trisha. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Monica. So I had to fight that. And then, you know, when we first started, there was some Italian guys out of Jersey or the city. I can't remember where they came from now because evidently they didn't last. But they burnt one of our trucks. You know, they did some dumb stuff. Local competition did some grimy stuff because I didn't get politically involved. You know, as you said, Christine, earlier today when we were talking on your Zoom call, that we talk, you know, we say, oh, I don't want to do politics. I didn't want to do politics because in small communities, you piss off the wrong people. You lost 20 family members who were connected that you didn't know were connected. So all of those things kept me constipated and stuck, and it kept me limited also, but it taught me how to roll up my sleeves and fight and do things. I ran a transfer station. I did a lot of things before I became the smiley mouthpiece that I am today. And I just feel like I can't take all that knowledge and experience and let it go away. I need to share it and help other people do what they want to do. I don't care if it's start a baking company, you want to make goodies. I don't really care what it is. If it's your dream, don't let it die inside of you. And I know I've talked long tonight, but I'm going to talk as long as there's at least 10 people on here. So if anybody has a question or wants to ask me to talk about a subject, please do. Because sometimes I feel like I'm rambling, but my initial reason for coming on here is, again, I'll put the site up later on when I go in the house, but I am going to be teaching a distance learning class April the 22nd, 29th, and May 6th and 13th, and it's called Navigating the New Norm, whatever that is. And we're going to be talking about what to do and how to prepare ourselves. We can't wait to get ready. We have to, hi Tajmika, how are you? We have to get ready now. We've been allowed to stay at home. Some people say, oh my God, you know, I have to sit at home. Well, you you're lucky to have a home to sit in. I know people who don't have a home to sit in. They're sitting in shelters or in the cold, hoping somebody doesn't walk by them and cough and give them something. So, we have to be grateful for where we are and what we have. Now, how do we take it further? How do we improve on it? How do we make it better? Hi, Jeannie. How do we make it better? So, Monica, do you have a question at all that you wanted to ask me? And so anyway, so that's my main thing. How do we get to our voice and our purpose? Is there something that's, hey, Amy, inside of you just dying, burning to do? Is there someone that you need to sit and have a talk with? They hurt your feelings, they insult you, but they're a family member. Your first thing is it worth whatever you're going to have to go through to deal with it, right? The next thing is, I used to tell my kids this, if I could see my niece's face right now, she's probably shaking her head at me, because whenever she would come to me with a problem, I would say, get a piece of paper, fold it in half, and on the left side, write all the benefits. Hey, Simi, all the benefits of doing whatever it is you want to do or you're thinking about doing. And on the right side, write all the things that you could think of that's going to go bad. And then weigh your odds, because I didn't want to be blamed for helping someone make a decision, right? And then they'd later say, well, I did it because you told me. And so when you have a problem, I have like a 3-step process. I guess 4 now, because I forgot to add that. But your first thing is, when something hits you, got you. So when something hits you, what does it mean? So many times something happens, we feel funny, we have an instinct, an intuition, and we just let it ride. And later it comes to bite us in the ass, right? Hi, Roseanne. So when something hits us, what does it mean? Because there's a reason everything happens. I don't believe in accidents. If you do, let's talk about it, because there are no accidents, right? There's a reason something happened. Typically, it's a warning sign. Yes, it's okay to share, Brenda, please, and thank you. Someone might be on here that you share with that might need to hear all of my craziness. So, what does this mean? And if you can't figure out, hey, Jenny, if you can't figure out what it means, then the next thing is, if you know what it means, then you say, okay, now what do I do? And then if you don't know what to do, then you seek help. Ask for help. No man is an island. No one has all the answers. There's so much I don't know. Hey, Stinker, I'm glad you missed me talking about you. So anyway, so that's the one thing. And then the other thing I do is fold that paper in half. On the left side, what are the benefits? On the right side, what are the losses, right? Gains and losses. Because for every action, there's a reaction, right? And then you make those choices based on your feelings. Stop making choices for other people. There's so many people along the way that I've helped and done extra things for. And I did it out of the kindness of my heart in hopes that they received it in that way. I don't know how they received it. But the point is, when I closed my business and some people thought I didn't have power, or they didn't know what I was doing, or I didn't have money, I didn't hear from them. Hey, Amber, some of them disappeared, even family members. Some of them disappeared, but it doesn't matter, because I did what I did for the right reasons. And so you don't want to be at the end of the day saying, oh my God, I spent all this time doing this for someone in hopes that they're going to give it to you in return. Don't do anything looking for something in return. And again, this pandemic, after we get out of this situation that we have never thought of, and for some of us, we fought for our freedoms and our independence. Eli, you're so good. My Eli just brought me out a coat. He's like, it's cold out here. What are you doing? So we fought for our independence. Our family fought for our independence. Our ancestors fought for it. And so here we are, stuck at home. You telling me, I can't go somewhere and blah, blah, blah. We are mad, right? We're fit to be tied. You know me, I always run out of battery. So hold on, I have to plug in my battery charger. All right, I think we're back in action. Hey, Rob. So anyway, so I think that, when we're done with this, we have to be ready. We have to get ready now. What will you do? You've been home. Do you really like that job? Do they piss you off? Is it keeping you small? Hey, Sid. Is it stunting your growth? Is there more for you to do than you're doing? Think about it. And if it's not where you want to be, life is so short. I lost my mother when I was 12. She was only 39. My baby is 32 years old. Yep, I shouted out your age. I can't imagine not being able to see her grow. I can't imagine not seeing my grandbabies. I'll get all emotional. Oh, goodness, I'm glad you're not looking at my face. I do drive-bys for the last few days because I can't hug and kiss them and hang out and do silly pictures like we usually do. I've been doing drive-bys, picking up bread. I don't even really eat bread, but whatever it is that I have an excuse to go see my babies, I'll go do that. And so therefore, what will we be doing that we're not wasting our time? Some of us are truly doing that. Again, there's some new people on the call, so I'm going to bring it up again. Relationships. That is the basis of who we are. We create relationships. I have friends on here for 30 plus years. I have friends on here for 9 years that feel like they've been my friends since I was born and birthed out of the womb, right? We talk to each other every day, sometimes 3-4 times a day. We bounce stuff off of each other, good and bad, because that's what friends are for. Fair weather friends who only come around when things are great, they're not friends. They're not friends at all. They're them folks over there. Right? So it's very important. What else do you want to do? Is there political office you want to run for? Did you not vote? But now you see the importance of having the right people in place. I don't do politics, but I know that I must do politics. And here's the thing. If you think for one reason that Donald Trump is the maker of all these rules, then you're insane. There's a reason that Congress and the Senate and the Assembly sit there fighting all the time. Because they're the ones with the real power. So if you have people who have been sitting there 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, they need to get the hell out of there. Because all of our systems are broken, as we could see. All of our systems are broken. And so we need new life. And this is a time for us to come out and be regenerated. What can I do to make my life and my children's life better? What can I do to make my community better? And that is very important to me. I don't know what's important to you. Is it just you? Then that's fine. You have every right. Hi, Nicole. You have every right. Oh, you still love me. Oh, I love you too. Put that finger down. I know you. So you have every right to just care about you. It doesn't make you a bad person. But as long as you're caring about you and you take care of you, then when you're around other people, your nice feeling, your sense of happiness, your sense of spirit will be passed on to other people. You're not some crabby person who's chosen a life that you're sick and tired of and you don't know how to deal with, and you know how to deal with people. We meet those people every day. Again, not in judgment. These are facts. Hey, Bonnie. These are facts, right? So how do we deal with them? What will we do? I would really, really, really like to talk to some of you, and I hope that you join my class. I didn't put do not disturb on my phone, so have all these things popping up like motivational quotes and things, and it just said, I am not my circumstance, my current circumstance. And it's not. We're not prisoners. We have the privilege to have a home to be in, right? We have the privilege of being pissed off that we actually had a job that we can't go to. Now, some of our jobs are scary, and some of those people on the front line, I love you, thank you. Thank you for taking, I have several cousins who are nurses and have very special jobs, and they're special people in general. And so I thank you for that. My mom was a nurse as well. She was an LPN, though. She wasn't an RN. Hey, Arthur Paul. What will we do about some of those things? How will we, what is it we want to change? Do we want to run for office? Do we want to make a difference? No, you can't make everybody happy, but you can make yourself happy. And you can say, I did the best that I could, and I made that effort. The other big lesson I had to learn about wanting to help and make change is removing myself from the outcome. So if I approach someone and I want to help them because they look like they need help, and they don't accept my help, I can't be like, oh my God, they don't like me because I'm pink. Oh, they're mean. No, I gave it a shot. I gave it my best effort. I had to move some wood. I gave it my best effort, and I did the best that I could with what I had. And so, will you learn how to do that? Can you learn how to do that? Do you want to learn how to do that? Will that make you happy? Maybe that's not something you care about. Do you know what you care about? I never knew what I cared about except for my family. My family means everything to me. And then I went on this trip, and it was, where did I go? Tennessee. Yeah, it was Tennessee. And for those of you who don't know, I've been part of network marketing 27 years. And for those of you who don't like it and you call it a pyramid, it is not for everyone. No, everyone doesn't make money. It is hard work. When I tell you it's hard work. But I had stores in the Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, St. Croix, and I traveled, and I won trips to China, and I never had to pay for them. And it was just amazing things that we did. I know, I'm sorry I'm saying China right now. Thank God I went, way back when, when they weren't even developed. So it was before the China Olympics, actually. So when I went, it was pretty rough there, but it was amazing. So anyway, I did all of those things, and I learned about network marketing, and I went to this trip in Tennessee, and I went on a ride with her. Name was Shalene Palladino. I haven't talked to her in years. I know, Jazz. I promised that I'd find her, and I didn't. I know she lives in Ulster County, so anybody listening, if you know Shalene Palladino, help me find her. So anyway, I went on this trip, and it was Amway that I was a part of at the time. And I was my best mouthwash and toilet paper client. And I walked across the stage being honored for making like $4 in change. But these people were like on drugs to me. They were cheering and amping me up, and they were so happy for me. And I said, oh my God, like, what's wrong with these people? I've never met nice people like this in my life who just are cheering me on for doing so little, because I thought it was so little, but to make $4 was a lot back then. When I didn't know that I needed to get other people in the business and move a product. I missed that part somehow. So anyway, my whole point is that I've been around so many amazing people. I had so many life lessons that I knew one thing after this trip. I wanted to be around people who accept me for as little or as much as I could offer and do and share. I wanted to be around people who would cheer me across the stage no matter what, as long as they saw I made an effort. And so that's what I do. And that's my claim to fame for the rest of my days on this planet. To help those who want help, to guide those who want to be guided, to find a way to feel good about your efforts and know that you're always putting your best foot forward for you. And if there's other people who get to enjoy it afterwards, that is sexy as hell. For sure. For sure, for sure. Hang on, I'm just sorting through, make sure I didn't miss a question while I was going through. Does anybody have a question? I know I've covered a lot of ground today, but I really would like to see some of you take this course, because I know some of you on here, and I know that you've been watching and supporting me for a long time, long time. And that I would love to, one, work with you, but two, be able to have a one-on-one so that we could talk about some things to make for sure that when this is done, we're ready. We're ready, whether it's how we choose to worship, whether it's how we choose to take care of our families financially. A lot of us, again, I say, don't know about money. No one taught us about money. It was go to work, get a check, and hope that it pays the bill. Oh, that fire's sexy now. And hope that it pays the bills, right? There's more to life than that. There's so much more to life than that. And I want you to think about that. What do you want out of life? Do you just want to pay the bills? I tell you, I have this desire and passion to help people because someone had faith in me until I could find my own faith. But man, let me tell you, I have to say, sitting at home and getting to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and put on PJs or nothing, and Zoom from my house is pretty cool, I must say. But it does get a little boring, and you do need some excitement, and you do need some socialization, because we were put here to love and be loved. Patty, I can't see because, I'm not super cool, your viewers. I'm not super cool with all this stuff, technology-wise, but are you still on here? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. I don't know how to tell. Hi, Margot. Hi, Ramon. So anyway, Patty, if you're on here, just say yes, and then I'll bring up another subject if you're here to talk about it. So last night I talked about an organization that is called the New York State Women's Inc. For some of you who've been around a long time, it used to be called New York State Business and Professional Women. We have a lot of programs that help women find their mojo, find their voice, speak up, change their lives, get some extra training, and we help you financially with that. Teach you to do public speaking so that you can go out and represent yourself well when you're asking for that raise or that promotion or that new position, when you need to speak up for yourself or others. I've been a part of that organization for 21 years, and I'm proud to be a part of them. And I look forward to doing more with them. And I'm also involved with another organization here locally that I did not know existed called ASALH. And if you want to look it up, it's ASALH.org. And Dr. Carter G. Woodson created the organization to honor Black History Month, to give African Americans some dignity and pride about their part of being on this planet. And for some of you who don't know, because I know in the winter I am pale as all get out, I am African American and Latino. And I love who I am. There is not a racist bone in my body. As some of you know, I was married to a very Caucasian man. And I don't discriminate at all. But your struggle and my struggle are different. Doesn't make yours any worse than mine or mine any worse than yours. It's just different. And we have to be open-minded about how we share those things, and open-minded about how it affects our children and our grandchildren, because everybody's mixing up now. So we need to know that we're giving them a history to be proud of, so that someone doesn't make them feel bad for being part of something else that no one wants to include in things or think that it's a bad thing. And yes, we have moved so far out of that realm, but we still have a long way to go. So that organization, we have a charter here in Sullivan County, and we've extended out to Poughkeepsie and Beacon and Newburgh now. So I'm looking to grow that business. That organization. See, I told you I'm always got business on the brain. So that organization, I am the current president of, and I am the vice president of New York State Women's Organization. And again, not a shout out for myself, but to let you know, I don't talk about things that I don't know or that I'm not partaking in, or that someone hasn't shared with me, so that I have some form of firsthand knowledge. I'm not gonna read a book and then say, okay, I'm a professional. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get my hands dirty. And I'm coming out, and I'm going to share it with you. So if you guys want to go on this ride with me, please, just send me a message or put something on here after this video. If there's something you want me to talk about, if there's something you want to learn about, if there's an organization that I might know that could help and guide you for people who are entrepreneurs. Everybody's struggling right now, with all the small business stuff. However, there is an organization that I was on the board of for 15 years. I don't know if Brian is still on here, but it's the New York State Small Business Development Center. And I always used to say that organization is your tax dollars working for you, because you don't pay them anything. They help you sit down and evaluate your business, because sometimes we have some dreams that just are not possible. Now, don't let anyone squash your dreams. But if you can put it pen to paper and you can make money with it, then it's doable. But you have to look at reality. And sometimes we don't do that when it's our dream. Somebody, told me what not to do, and then we elaborate later and say, we have haters. No, we just didn't do the homework, and we have to be honest and accountable for that stuff. but the New York State Small Business Development Center is all over the world. And they have the website, NYSD something. So it's New York State Small Business Development Center. Just use all those first letters of those words, .org, and you can check them out and see what kind of services they have. They helped me with my business. They helped me get my first loan. When I went to banks and they were turning me down, I had an advisor, Fred, who helped me go to those same banks. And just because he was by my side and they respected the organization, they gave me the loan because I still had to do the talking. It's my business. I knew what I was talking about. He couldn't talk about my business. It was my dream. It was my desire to do these things and change recycling and sorting of things in my area. And so I got my first loan of, I think it was $120,000. And then fast forward 2003, 2004, I got another loan for $750,000, which allowed me to upgrade my inventory, do new recycling, market my business, all these things that I was never taught about because I didn't go to school for. And most small business owners don't go to school for it. It's just a dream. So if you have a dream, I would say follow through with it. Reach out, ask for help. All right, I'm down to 7 people. So I'm going to say thank you very, very, all right, update, stop playing with me. I'm going to say thank you so much for allowing me to rant and share and create some laughter and share my fire with you and share my beautiful, I wish that water was my backyard, but it's not. But I don't want it to be my backyard because then it would destroy everything. But last night there was such a big tree. That tree had to be about 40 foot long and it broke off and it cracked. Hey, cuz. It broke off and cracked, and it was just going right down the stream. And I started talking about never knowing what's coming your way and being prepared. And so I want you guys to have a great night. Oh, I'm back up to 10. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm just joking around. But I'm freezing, and I'm going to go in the house now. But I like doing it outside. There's some freedom about talking to you outside, and there's also a freedom about not having to show my face because I know you guys see all my selfies, but I really do hate showing my face because I just want to make myself thinner and younger. But I did that because my cousin doesn't get a chance to see me, and you'll see her name on there under Shirley Baldwin. Our moms, neither one of them are here, but our moms had girls. We're the only girls in these families, and they named all of us Shirley Ann. So there's Shirley Ann Baldwin, or it was Newman, her maiden name, Shirley Ann Middleton, and Shirley Ann Felder. So when we're all 3 together and you hear Shirley Ann, it's just a funny thing. So I'm the baby Shirley Ann, she's the middle Shirley Ann. So I love you, cuz, and I'm glad to see you on here, which means you're doing well and everybody's okay. So I am, unless someone has a question or going to ask me, I don't want to belabor and just keep going on, because you know me, I'll talk forever. But I don't want anyone to get lost in my talk and miss the message that if you are looking for someone to help sort through your trash in life, your limiting beliefs, help you recycle the lessons. Hi, Lori. Please give Mama my love and a hug and a kiss. Help you sort through your trash, your limiting beliefs, right? Your lack of self-esteem, any of those things. We're going to talk about how we sort through that, get rid of those. We're going to dispel some myths because most of it is crap. It doesn't really exist. It's in our head. It's what we listen to. Very few people look you in the face and say, oh, you're this or you'll never be that. If you're being honest, there might be 1 or 2 haters that they're just unintelligent and they haven't a clue. But for the most, no one has a set of balls to look you in the face and say that. Most people are like cowards. They say it behind your back. So you can't put that on yourself. Those lessons that you've learned that we're going to talk about, we're going to reuse some of them so we never repeat it again. And then we're going to repurpose them. We're going to recycle. Hey, Marv, we're going to recycle those lessons that you've learned and put them to work to find your voice, whatever it is. Run for office, get out of a relationship, tell a family member how you feel, buy a car, get a license, get a house, fire your boss, and do something of your own and live your dream. Find your voice. Find your purpose, and then live the rest of your life fulfilled. That's the main goal. We were put here to give and receive love, not to hate and put stank on people. That's not what we're here to do, and not to judge. Colleen, I love you. I hope you're okay. So my nose is running. I don't want you guys to all see that. And it's freezing out here, but I do love it. And I'm going to let you guys listen to a little water before I go, and a little fire crackling. And unless, again, someone has a question, I said whenever we get under 10, I would leave. And now we're at 11. Does anyone have a question, a concern, anything about the course? I actually don't know the price. I think, isn't that sad? I just did a test yesterday and it says, you are not moved by money. I can't believe that. Hey, Chris. Hey, Gibby. I can't believe that because I need shoes. I like shoes. And I love dresses in the summer. And you need money to do that. But that's not what motivates me to inspire people to get out of their own way and to find their voice and make the best life you can and be happy. Because it's not easy doing that. And building relationships and finding love stinks the big one. Oh my gosh, we're back up to 50. I'm so grateful for you guys signing on. I hope you're not signing on just because you're bored. No, I'm just kidding. I'm grateful to you guys that you take time out of your busy schedule to come and listen to me rant and rave. I just know that I've been so privileged. I don't like to say the word lucky because nothing has been given to me. I've had to fight and prove myself. I wish you were sitting right next to me too. Hey, Manny. I've had to fight and prove myself over and over again and sometimes fake it until I made it. But I did it. So no one handed it to me. I had to work for it. So I don't like the word lucky. But I am still so grateful. I can't even tell you how grateful I am that I've had the privilege to make so many amazing relationships. Create some. Hey, Nance. Create some. Be part of some. Be included in some. And at the end of my time, which is a long way out, I'm going to be like a 90-year-old, dirty old lady pinching all the little young boys on the butt who work in nursing homes because I'm pretty sure my daughter will put me there. Alexis won't let her, though. But I'm not ready to go. But I know that when it is my time to go, I love you too, Nance. When you talk to Mom, please tell her I send her a big hug and I hope she's good and doing well. When it is my time, I can honestly say that I was the best parent I knew how to be. Now, of course, my daughter will debate. I don't know if Alexis will debate with me. She was pretty spoiled. I never got a chance to spank her, but I should have spanked her just once or twice. I'm just kidding. She's a good kid. Until her senior year. She acted up her senior year, but she was a good kid until then. I think we all act up our senior year. We start thinking we're grown. I love you too, Mia. So when you see Mia on there, that is, I don't know. God sent her to me. Whew. I know we debate about this 8-9 years now. And she gets mad when I don't get it right, but I love you anyway. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you very much. You know how you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, like, I know you. And I met her and she did not like me at all. I forced myself all up on her. Called her every day, texted her, tried to get her to go to lunch, And then one day, persistence pays off. She had had enough of whatever was going on in her life. She just wanted to sit with some crazy chick and have some, what did we drink? Oh, that's when I introduced you to my drink. Malibu Sprite and Cranberry, for those of you who didn't know my drink. And we sat there at Al's. I miss Al. And we talked about life and we bonded that night. And we've been pretty much inseparable since. And those are the relationships and the things that I truly honor and respect because no matter how perfect we think people's lives are, shit happens to us just at different times. And when shit happened to her, I was there for her. And when shit happened for me, she was there for me. Even when I didn't even want to tell her shit was happening for me, she was like kicking in my house door and stuff. And she was pregnant one time. Whew, thank one time, no more after that. But she was pregnant with my little godson, Trent. And I was sick as a dog. And, you know, I live alone. All my kids are grown and about their own stuff. And she was supposed to be bedridden. She came to my house with a whole chicken. You know, she's Spanish. So she came to my house with a whole chicken, fresh ingredients. And she went to town in that kitchen. And she made me a homemade soup and made me all better. So I love you and I appreciate you. Even on the days you don't pick up my phone because you're having a rough day. And, you know, she has a business, a cleaning business. and she does a couple of counties and 2 states, New York and Pennsylvania. And that smoke is pissing me off again. And, she lost a lot of business in this, but what she did is what we need to be doing right now. She got mad, she retreated, she cried a little, she pissed and moaned on some videos, and she vented and she got it out. And then she went back in and she got educated. She found out about a special process that you use to clean office buildings and to help kill the virus in the air, and all this little nifty stuff that she thought I wasn't paying attention to her today, but I was. And that's how you reinvent yourself. So if you're doing something right now, how do you kick it up a notch if it's going to continue to be around after we're out of isolation? And again, if it's not going to continue to be around, what can you do with the experience and knowledge that you have? And how do you apply it with the needs that other people have? So I wanted to give you a shout out since you were there, because I know you thought I wasn't listening, but I always listen. It's my job to give you a hard time so that you stay on your toes, just like you do me. Hi, Diana. How are you? I hope that you guys are all doing well up on the mountain. So, Rose. Oh, thanks, Rose. Hi, Nancy. Hey, Jen. So anyway, again, if people are on, I want to serve you. That's my purpose. I live to serve. I'm going to go back by the heat now because it's getting cold again. But if people are on and you have a question or there's something you want to ask me, please do. Because then I'll just be rambling, and I want to make good use of my time and your time after I drop my camera. But I want to make good use of your time and my time. So tell me if there's something you want to know or something you want me to talk about, as I kick up some heat over here, up in here, as Les Brown would say. I'm looking. No questions, 14 people. All right, so I'm gonna exit then. I don't want to bore you guys. I just want to share. And I'm going to do my best to be consistent, to communicate. Hey, Bernard, how are you? A little bit more. I know I've gone into hibernation and not really talked much, but I was working on, this whole message thing, because I'm like, why is it that people are following it? And it's not in judgment, it's just facts. Why is it that people are following all these fluff people who really are just talking about what other people are talking about, like what Tony Robbins is talking about? I could give a rat's ass about crossing fire. Yes, there's some motivating stuff. Good night, Rose. Yes, there's some motivating and amazing stuff that he does. But how many of us can afford $5,000 to go walk over coal or change our lives? We can do some of that stuff by opening up and doing the work on ourselves. I'm continually learning and growing and sharing. Good night, Marvin. Thank you so much for your love and support. I'm continually doing that. Oh, thank you, Jen. I'm continually doing that. And I just took this little UMAP exam or test. I don't know. It's a thing to talk about your personality and how you do things. And, we always think we know ourselves, but we're always evolving, And as we grow older and learn more, it changes us. And as we become educated and physically tired, it changes us too. Changes our whole energy and our flow of things. And so I took this test, and I was a little shocked about a few things that I thought I was good at, but I answered those questions very honestly, and it gave me back a report. And then when I sat inside to think about everything that I had just read, I was like, all right, you know what? You're not even being real with yourself. It's true. That's who you are. So I know that I'm not a detailed person. I know that I don't really want to play around with money and count money, and I don't want to talk to people about money. But if somebody is changing your life, if someone is adding or improving to the quality of your life, know that they took training and went to school and learned things to do that. And so they deserve to be paid. I never really want to talk to people about money. And I know that's like 101, get paid. But I believe if I do the right things, it will come to me. And if I help people change their lives, it will come to me. And, you'll learn later when I finish this crazy book I'm trying to put together that I really hit some hard times a few years ago. And when I say hard, I mean hard. And it never changed who I was. It never changed my personality because I knew I do the right things for people. I knew that I keep paying it forward. I knew that my heart was good. I knew that my spirit was good. And so I knew that it would come back and return to me. And it really did. And though money and numbers aren't my thing, when I had lots of money, I did some amazing things with it that I forgot I did. And they paid me back in hard times because I completely forgot about them, because money doesn't move me like that. The only thing money does is give me choices and allows me to travel. It allows me to meet people. It allows me to not have as much fear that something might not work out and what if. And you know what? We have no control over that stuff. So what if is going to happen any damn way? So if you have some dreams, if you have some aspirations, some desires to change your life, to tweak your life, why not now? Why not now? So I'm going to sign out. I'm going to tell you guys, thank you very much for spending this much time with me. Thank you very much for sharing it if you shared it. After this video, hi, Michael. After this video, if you don't mind sharing it to your page, because there is somebody, it might not be you. You were just here out of love and respect to me, and I'm so grateful. But it might not be you, but somebody might need to hear what I've talked about for almost an hour. Someone might need that courage or that inspiration, or even to compare themselves to me, which is the worst thing, and say, look, if that chick can do it, I got it. So you guys have a great night. Stay warm. I love you too, Colleen. Colleen is one of those women that I said that mentored me through the women's organization over the last 21 years, and I love her. She is fire. Fire, fire, fire. I don't care. Don't tell me you're old, none of that crap. You are fire, baby, and I love you. So you guys have a great night. Please stay safe. Stay home if you can so we can get through this and ready to move on, because this was, again, I'm stealing from one of my favorite speakers, and Les Brown, and this was a setup for a comeback. This was a setback for a comeback. I mean, this is time to come back rejuvenated, refreshed, informed, educated, no longer isolated, and ready because you've been forced to use this technology you've been fighting, and let's do some shit. You guys have a great night. I'm Shirley, CEO of Ordinary Greatness and a life coach with an international organization called Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. And again, I so appreciate your time and energy that you put into listening to me today. Have a good night.